Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, talking up USC football with Ryan Abraham, a tremendous source for the Trojans. You can catch him at uscfootball.com. He and the rest of the crew, they've got a YouTube channel as well where they provide reports on a consistent basis, podcasts as well. Ryan, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good, Mark. What's up with you?
Well, I'm just trying to run down as many spring football reports as I can get to. I know the next 2 weekends are just flooded with big-time programs going to the field for the last time during the spring sessions. And obviously, you do a great job helping us out with USC. So we've got this quarterback situation that everyone's talking about with the Jack Sears, Matt Fink. I'm hearing marginal play out of the two guys, but then Clay Helton will step to the podium and or after practice and be a little bit more encouraging. So what have you seen out of these two guys?
Yeah, it's a weird situation. Obviously, Sam Darnold's gone, and you have a redshirt sophomore and a redshirt freshman that are competing for the job. The only two scholarship quarterbacks around, and neither one of them have really taken the reins and taken over that position. You thought Matt Fink would do that. I think he's still the leader in the clubhouse right now. He had that one long touchdown run against Oregon State, 51 yards, and actually had some playing time, but hasn't thrown a whole lot of passes. And Jack Sears, I think the transition from high school to college took a little while as he redshirted last year. Neither one of them has played all that well. I think Matt Fink has played better. Jack Sears maybe had one of the worst quarterback practices I've seen in quite a while. At USC last week, he had 3 interceptions, and during the 11-on-11 team periods, he did not have one completion. So that was a pretty bad day for him, but he bounced back. They had a really physical scrimmage on Saturday. He threw a couple of long touchdowns, which was nice. And I think, completion percentage was up, certainly up above 0, but he played a lot better. And I think Matt Fink has been fairly steady, but not spectacular. But the kind of elephant in the room is that they have JT Daniels out of Modern Day High School, who's a junior in high school, trying to finish up his senior year, cram it all in, and arrive sometime in the late summer. He's been a lot of the practices, Mark, and he's got his backpack on, kind of watching things, and you felt like one of those two guys would just kind of try to separate themselves, because they haven't. They've made JT Daniels' job a little bit easier when he does get to USC, because it's not like there's like Patrick Reed in the Masters. There wasn't a guy that was way out in front. Everyone was kind of in the pack. He can kind of join the group late and still be able to catch up fairly easily if he makes that transition. So it's a really weird situation. I don't remember something similar to this, covering USC football through the spring, having this like 5-star freshman kind of overlooking your shoulder, but that's kind of what they're dealing with right now.
Yeah, we always talk, especially at the quarterback position, but really across the board, we talk about potential, we talk about ceiling, but you just mentioned Jack Sears' floor. So you don't certainly want to march him out onto the field against Notre Dame or UCLA or anybody and have him bottom out with that kind of performance. But it was nice to see that he had some fight and was able to come back with and really pull his game together a couple days later. You mentioned JT Daniels, Ryan, and this is interesting to me because the hot shot, the freshman, the big recruit is always the guy people are clamoring for. And then there's more justification to it in this case because of the marginal play that you're talking about at the quarterback position. But do you think USC fans are putting a little bit too much stock in JT Daniels being the savior right out of the gate?
Yeah, I would say it's asking a lot, because he is still a junior in high school. And it's a big move. You've seen 5-star guys make the transition from high school to college. Tyler Vaughns is one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver on the team. He redshirted after being a 5-star in high school. Just took him a little while to get going, but his spring after that redshirt year was great. It would be really good for JT Daniels if he could just redshirt. He doesn't even have a spring football to come in early like most quarterbacks get. So it's a big ask to ask him to come in and do that. And I don't think that, we saw what Clay Helton did a couple of years ago, letting Max Brown start over Sam Darnold. My guess is if JT Daniels starts, it's not game 1 against UNLV. It might be game 3 or game 4, because USC does have to go on the road and play Stanford and Texas. Maybe they struggle in those games, like they started off, 1-2 in 2016, and they put in Sam Darnold. Maybe something similar happens where they start off 1-2 and you put in JT Daniels. So that would be my kind of guess. I think Matt Fink's going to end up starting the opener. That's my guess, but obviously we're a long way away from that.